And Happy New Year. It is January and it is 21. We made it through 2020. Most of us, we're here and thankful for being able to be here because we all have lost someone um, during the pandemic in 2020. But again, just grateful for being here now. And just want to welcome you all to the Chamber and the Chamber Connection. And before we get started, a word from our sponsor.
Hi, I'm Matthew Pinzer, the Chief Marketing Officer at Jackson Health System. We're proud to be partnering with the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce to bring you this video series. We hope that it helps you to find new business opportunities across our community, and we look forward to working with you as we move into a new year.
Well, we're back, and like I said, I'm excited, always excited about doing this Chamber Connection as we bring members to the Chamber. One of our newest members, I'm excited to introduce you to Anton Bonci. Bonci. I know I was going to mess it up, but here it is, Bonci.
Perfect.
That Italian name, and it's great to see you. Great to see you here in the new year, and welcome.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for inviting me. Pleasure.
Absolutely. So you are the executive chairman and founder of Global Institutes of Addictions, GIA. And before moving to GIA, as I read your resume, you served for nearly a decade at the National Institute of Health, NIH, and scientific director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse, NIDA. Between 1999 and 2010, you also served as a professor in residence at the Department of Neurology at the University of California in San Francisco. So I know we talked a little bit before you came on, and I know you've been in Miami about a year now, but obviously, like you said, you've been in the States for quite a while. So tell us a little about you before coming to the States.
Right. So thank you. Thank you for asking. So I went to medical school in Italy, in Rome, at the Catholic University. Then I did a residency in neurology in Italy. And right then, I kind of felt that we had a lot of need for more research to create new therapies, new ideas. And back in the days, I'm talking about more than 22 years ago, Italy didn't offer a lot of opportunities. And I was basically invited to come to the US for a sabbatical at UCSF by my wonderful mentor, Robert Malenka, who's a professor at Stanford. And United States gave me everything. They gave me a laboratory, they gave me a phenomenal job and the opportunity to see that the sky is the limit. So I ran from Italy, I moved to San Francisco, and I had an amazing 20 plus years of research because I didn't practice. I don't practice as a physician, but I worked as a neuroscientist. So my entire 20 plus years in a nutshell were devoted to find the mechanisms that are underlying substance abuse or stress. So my laboratory worked by creating studies and knowledge on why drugs of abuse and stress actually create brain memories, very strong brain memories, cellular memories that actually underlie vulnerability or propensity to become addicted. So that is what I did with my laboratory for both at San Francisco and at the NIH. And at some point, I really felt that it was time to try and translate all this knowledge from science, from medicine, from technology to patients. And this is why I came to Miami. This is why we founded GIA, and that's the idea behind it, to really bring everything that science, technology, medicine has validated all under one space, under one roof, and make it available to all patients. So this is why after those beautiful years in San Francisco and with NIH, I just wanted to do something more for patients, not
Right.
just keeping on studying and producing science through my collaborators.
Right. So GIA, obviously, you're dealing with clinically testing and looking at substance abuse. Obviously, substance abuse. There's so many different types of substance abuse. Is there any particular area that you look at, or is it all basically various substances?
That's a great question, Eric. We are specialized in very few conditions. First of all, anxiety and depression, which, as you know, the statistics are, you can find them everywhere. Because of COVID, the rates of anxiety, depression, stress has skyrocketed. But in terms of addictions, we have my medical team, a lot of expertise with alcoholism, with cocaine addiction, stimulants, and with gambling, pathological gambling. From a scientific point of view, I studied cocaine for many years because cocaine is an orphan disease in a sense. It's a condition where you have no neurobiological treatment. You have psychological treatments, which can be effective, but no medical neurobiological treatment. So this is why my research and my collaborators in Europe focused on new cocaine treatments. And actually, we are the only center to offer non-invasive brain stimulation for these types of addictions in Florida, actually, alcoholism, cocaine addiction, gambling, and so on. So we have this very unique approach to addictions that you can't find it anywhere else, as far as I know.
Right. Well, here we are. You mentioned the pandemic, and obviously you talk about anxiety and you talk about depression. Obviously, we not just here in Miami, but worldwide, we're being affected by this. The way we do business, even. I mean, from the perspective of a lot of people are working from home. A lot of businesses are downsizing because their employees are working from home. So I'm sure that's a lot of stress on businesses. There's a lot of stress, obviously, on individuals who own buildings and are renting them out. So there are different stress levels that we're dealing with out here. How have you seen your business change since the pandemic?
Another great question. I would say that probably half of our patients are dealing with anxiety and depression. So we originally imagined when we opened a few months ago that the majority of our clients were focused around one addiction or the other. But actually, to your point, anxiety, depression treatment without any addictions is basically half of the clients that we are helping. And a very important message, Eric, which I really want to share, independent from GIA, it doesn't matter where our listeners are, but it's really crucial to let everybody know that there are effective treatments for anxiety, for depression, for example, speaking of COVID. So just want to mention some statistics that from time to time they come up. The vast majority of Americans apparently don't know that there are effective treatments for these conditions. That was mentioned in many meetings where I go to, like 1 in 7 Americans in certain parts of the United States know that there are effective medical therapeutic treatments for depression, for anxiety. Message number 1 really is that medicine, psychology can really do a lot now, as it did before, to help people struggling with anxiety, with depression, and with addictions, of course. Is the first very important message. There is a lot of confusion, unfortunately, on whether there are effective treatments. That's message number 1.
Well, anxiety. Explain anxiety to our audience, because I'm sure a lot of people they may know family members that have anxiety, but they don't understand what that really is. Can you explain?
Absolutely, Eric. So in general, we all need to be anxious about things that are a threat to us, right? I need to be anxious if a train is coming my way and I am on the railway. I need to move quickly.
Right.
So there's a physiological anxiety. The anxiety that you're talking about is when I, as Anto, become constantly preoccupied with things that shouldn't occupy my attention. I am anxious because maybe I left the stove on at home, but I know that I didn't. I'm anxious because I have a meeting at noon for which I am prepared, but I'm still anxious. When my life is taken over by anxiety, and I do realize that that's not right. So that level of pathological anxiety is what we are talking about.
Okay.
And of course, because of COVID, preoccupation about the future, preoccupation about financial stability and whatnot, this level of pathological anxiety has grown exponentially in our communities.
Wow. And let me ask this question. One thing about COVID, and when we go back to even the thing, the incidents with George Floyd, we realized that the Black community and brown communities were affected even more. So, what is your input or perspective around that?
It's been a disaster. I completely agree. It feels as if this situation has brought the worst out of certain people and the best out of very few. We have seen an exaggeration of behaviors, Eric. That's what I'm talking about. People that already tended to be aggressive. I mean, we've seen what happened at the White House just a few days ago. It's horrible.
Right.
God, I just wish that we were all, again, united as a community, because I don't personally. I'm Italian. I'm barely beginning to understand this culture and the racial tensions, but I don't understand. I don't metabolize what happened in that situation with George, what happened in several other situations. All I can say is that clearly COVID has also increased the level of aggression and violent behaviors. But again, we need to be very united and respond and condemn all those actions, because there's no justification. No matter what the stress levels are, certain actions are completely beyond anybody's understanding, and they cannot be justified. But there has to be a very clear message from everybody, Eric.
Absolutely.
We stand united against violence. It doesn't matter. But I have friends from the Latino community, from the African American community, and I don't even begin to understand what they're going through, just because of, in 2021, the color of your skin. I don't get it. So, but again, I'm speaking as a doctor, as a scientist. I just treat everybody the same, whether it's a homeless or a billionaire. I just want to help. I just want to be part of anybody's life as much as I can. So it's beyond my understanding. I don't have a justification. I don't have a scientific explanation for it. It's just horrible.
What do you see? How do you see us moving forward in 21? Obviously, we have the medication or the shots that we're taking now, the virus for the virus. How do you see? And then there's a lot of anxiety behind that. There's much anxiety behind that because the medication hasn't been proven. And I always say, we look at commercials and you see this medication can cause, even to the point where it said this medication can cause death if in some individuals. So there's much anxiety in this whole process of the medication coming out. What has your experience been with that, or have you been dealing with that at all?
Yes, it's an interesting area, because even a lot of professionals, even from Italy, where I practice, super smart people, they're asking me, Anto, are you taking the vaccine? Is it dangerous? First of all, I said, yes, I can't wait to get the vaccine. I trust NIH, I trust 100% Tony Fauci, I trust the FDA, I trust the professionality of these companies that have already gone through thousands of people. And the way I explained it to my friends, I said, look, vaccines, companies have tons of experience in producing vaccines. So the risk of being infected with COVID and going through the COVID full-fledged disease is so much higher than the side effects that, Dr. Fauci and many others have mentioned. So, I mean, the cost and the benefit of not taking the vaccine is 1,000% toward taking the vaccine personally as soon as I can. So it's a no-brainer for me.
Right.
So I understand, by all means, if you're not a physician, if you are not in the healthcare business, the hesitation, the fear, it's understandable. But again, I have full faith in Dr. Fauci and NIH and everybody else that has pushed these vaccines forward. So I can't wait to get my shot.
Right. And myself as well. I'm in that age range that I can go get it. So I'm still a little apprehensive. I'm gonna be honest, but I know I need to do it. So I will be doing it as soon as I can. You became a member of the Miami-Dade Chamber. Why did you make that decision?
Because one of the main problems that health science and technology in the medical field we suffer from is lack of information. We live a little bit as a scientist. I speak in my past life in our ivory tower. We do our discoveries and whatnot, but very little comes down to very smart professionals that can be as lawyers as other that are not strictly in the healthcare business. So I really want to make sure that GIA can be a resource of information. Like the small example that I shared before. A lot of people don't know that there are treatments that are very effective for anxiety, for depression, for alcoholism, and so on. So it's a matter of being part of the community and sharing knowledge. And again, at the end of the day, Eric, whether people take advantage of GIA or they live somewhere else, as soon as they know that they can seek professional help to feel better, that's a big accomplishment. So I just want to do my part. GIA wants to do their part in informing our local community that there is hope, there are treatments, and if you find serious professionals, you will feel better despite COVID, despite addictions, anxiety, or depression, or what you're going through. So I feel it's our duty to be part of this.
We really appreciate it, and we thank you. If someone wants to get in touch with you with GIA, how can they do that? What's the website and a phone number that they can follow up?
So the website is www.gia.miami. That's very easy. And we have phone numbers on our website. They can email me if they want to, anto.bonci@gia.miami. Happy to talk with anyone. We have a bunch of phone numbers, but I don't remember that. I apologize. Off the top of my head, I suck with advertising GIA. So through our website, seriously, plenty of ways, but they're more than happy. I love to talk about science, Eric. Believe it or not, everybody that comes through GIA, they can spend, and it's free, they can spend an hour with me if they like and talk about the science behind the brain stimulation treatments that we offer, the science behind GIA, and so on. So always happy to do that. And our medical team as well does that with everyone that wants to come through GIA just as a visit. Again, it's no commitment, but we offer that initial free conversations just as part of what you just said, this education conversation with peers that are not in the medical business, but we want to let them know what's available up there. Right. And the GIA. So we offer that too.
Okay, so that's www.gia.miami.com.
No.com.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, okay. So www.gia.miami.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. No .com. Okay. .miami. It was one of those fancy hybrid websites. I got you.
Super simple. But there is tons of medical information on the website to help people understand why we created GIA, what are we trying to do. It's a very unique service, and because it's comprehensive, so they'll see, and if they have any questions, I speak with everyone, and so does my medical team. It doesn't cost anything to anyone, so we are here to just help as much as we can.
Awesome. That's great. So if you want to know more about the chamber, you can go to www.m-dcc.org, or you can call the chamber at 305-751-8648. Dr. Bonci, we really appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the chamber, and we hope to push your information out. Anything that you can send us that we can put out as a newsletter to let people know, please send that to us. And you have a rest of the great week as we kick off this Monday.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much for your time and for hosting us. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Stay safe and get your vaccine as soon as possible.
I will. All right.